Good evening and welcome to this edition of The List on UWW-TV. I'm Brooke Souls.
And I'm Liv Yost. For the next few minutes, we'll present our top 5 sports stories of the week and discuss why they made the top 5. Did your top 5 make our list? Let's find out.
At number 5, Warhawk baseball remains undefeated through the first couple of weeks of conference play. They swept UW-Eau Claire and UW-River Falls, forcing the run rule in 5 of the 8 games during that stretch. The Warhawks are currently ranked as the number 1 team in Division III baseball. Liv, what's been a key to all of their success?
Yeah, thank you, Brooke. It's hard to not look at this team and immediately think they're offense powerhouses. They have hit 17 home runs in 4 games, 31 in 8 games, and they shined over this weekend, scoring an average of 16.75 runs per game. They obviously forced the run rule in 5 of those 8 games, which is an insane stat that you can look at. Sophomore catcher Aaron Holland went 8 for 15 with 4 home runs and 8 RBIs. Junior second baseman Andy Thies went 7 for 11 with 1 home run and 8 RBIs. Freshman third baseman Jackson Spring went 10 for 13 with 6 RBIs. And senior left fielder Matt Skolin went 7 for 14 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. It's really difficult to see this team not winning the national championship. There is not have been a team that has come even close to beating this Warhawk offensive powerhouse. And they will see La Crosse very soon this week, which is they are ranked number 10, so it's probably going to be their closest matchup yet. And at number 4, 13-year wide receiver veteran Julio Jones has officially announced his retirement from the NFL. Jones spent his 13-year career with 4 NFL teams, primarily with the Atlanta Falcons. With the Falcons, Jones is their all-time leader in receptions with 848 catches and receiving yards with 12,896 yards. Many consider Jones to be a top 10 wide receiver of all time. Brooke, what kind of legacy will Julio Jones be leaving behind?
Thank you, Liv. Yeah, Julio Jones will definitely be leaving a big legacy behind, again, with his 13-year career, mainly with the Falcons. But he did make 7 Pro Bowls and earned 2 first-team All-Pro selections. But he also leads the NFL in receiving goals twice. He did 1 in 2015 and 1 in 2018. And again, he has 13,629 career receiving goals, and he ranks 17th all-time. He has 6 straight 1,000 plus yard sessions for the season, and he's not quite up there with Jerry Rice, but definitely belongs in the conversation of being a top 10 wide receiver. But he's in the convo with Larry Fitzgerald. Liv, what do you think? Julio Jones, where is he at in that?
Yeah, I think he's definitely one of the top gifted receivers that we've seen in the NFL. He had an amazing tenure with the Falcons, leading them to a Super Bowl. They didn't win, unfortunately, but he did definitely lead them there. He's particularly dangerous on the deep routes, and his consistency in his hands are one of the few all-time greats throughout the NFL. He's one of the most dominant players on the field, and if he continued his run, he would have definitely put out a lot of great numbers.
And at number 3, the torpedo bat has become the new trend around the MLB, with many questioning if it's legal. The idea of the torpedo bat is to take the size of the bat and distribute the wood in a different geometric shape rather than the traditional form to ensure the fattest part of the bat is located where the player makes the most contact. A few Yankee players introduced this bat during their opening weekend series against the Brewers, where they scored 36 runs in the series. Now players across the league have switched to using this bat. Liv, what are your thoughts on the torpedo bat?
Yeah, I definitely am not sure about the torpedo bat. I think it's a good thing if you're not a great hitter. I think if you use it, then you probably aren't the greatest batter, or you're just using it to get advantages out of it. But I think like Aaron Judge doesn't use it. Obviously, we saw his 9 home runs. He doesn't really need it. I also think that the Yankees scored so many runs not because of the bat, but because their field is so small. It's like a shoebox. It doesn't really make an impact to the runs that they had against the Brewers that one series. I definitely think that it should be legal because I don't see that it makes a huge difference. But yeah, Brooke, what do you think?
Obviously, I think this bat kind of tiptoes the line of, technological advancements and talent on the teams, and I think players need to, obviously if they don't think it's fair that the torpedo bat is legal, they should definitely advocate for themselves along with their coaches.
We've got more coming up on the list, including a discussion on the new members of the Basketball Hall of Fame and Ovechkin breaking an all-time record. We'll be right back.
Have you heard of UROC?
We're part of Whitewater and our own thing.
Come on, we'll show you.
I learned how to be a college student here, and now I'm headed off to Madison to study global health, and I know I'm ready.
People like me who aren't a fan of big crowds would really like UROC because it's welcoming and it's laid back.
My advisor helped me figure out my schedule, organize my time, fill out my FAFSA, and figure out what classes I liked and how to turn that into a major. And if I had to do it again, I would choose UROC.
You ready to rock?
You belong here.
Matt checking in to see how Sam is doing on his project, and it's getting close to exporting now, the final step in the process. And it is complete, and Sam is hyped. Finally gets complete and spikes the ball into the end zone. Sam's celebrating with his colleagues, and they throw a flag on the play. The ref's gonna call excessive celebration. Sam is in disbelief and can't believe it. He tries to dispute the call, but the ref is not having any of it.
She's always had it. Pure ambition. An unbridled self-confidence that most people only dream of. You see it driving her, empowering her, and in time, you see it fueling her future. Perhaps even helping her blaze a new trail. All she needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the Universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities. Unlimited opportunity.
Sports fans. We pack stadiums, arenas, and local gyms every day. And every sports fan is uniquely human. Seeing each play with your own eyes, triggering your own emotions. And as humans, we won't agree on every call, but we can act with empathy and consideration. So put yourself in the official shoes. Be more than a fan. Be officially human.
Welcome to Jitters Coffee House. Located on the first floor of the Wells Towers, Jitters is a student-run coffee lounge and offers a variety of coffee and ice cream-based drinks and is home to many entertaining programs, including live music, gamer trivia nights, and other performances. Coordinate your activity by emailing jitters@uww.edu. Jitters is completely run by volunteers who can earn service hours and even receive a free drink during their shift. Stop in tonight at Jitters Coffee House, where fun events and community come together.
Welcome back to the list on UWW-TV. Let's continue the countdown to this week's top sports stories. At number 2, the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2025 has been announced, with many notable names being inducted into the Hall, headlined by Knicks and Nuggets legend Carmelo Anthony, Magic legend Dwight Howard, and the Storm and WNBA legend Sue Bird. Liv, let's discuss the impact this class will leave behind.
Yeah, this class is definitely one of the greatest you'll see in a while. Carmelo Anthony had over a 19-year NBA career tenure with teams like the Nuggets and the Knicks most notably. He averaged 22.5 points a game and 6.2 rebounds a game and was a 10-time All-Star and a 6-time All-NBA selection, and he was also on the Dream Team of 2008. Dwight Howard for the Orlando Magic was averaging 15.7 points a game and 11.8 rebounds per game, was an 8-time All-Star and a 3-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year. He also won an NBA championship with the Lakers in 2020, leading them, helping them out with using that big, size that he's got on him. Sue Bird had an over 20-year career with the Seattle Storm, averaging 11.7 points per game and 5.6 assists per game, was a 13-time All-Star, had 4 WNBA championships and 2 NCAA championships with the University of Connecticut. Obviously, she's one of the greats in the WNBA. You could say that she's the greatest of all time in it, WNBA. Brooke, what do you think?
Obviously, we have some more people who are going into the Hall of Fame, such as Maya Moore. somebody who's definitely been a transformative figure for women's basketball. She led Minnesota to 4 WNBA titles, and she also has received a WNBA MVP, and she also has 2 Olympic medals. We also have Billy Donovan, who is the current head coach of the Bulls, and he led the University of Florida to 2 NCAA championships.
And our top story of the week, Alex Ovechkin has broken the all-time record for goals scored in NHL history. The Washington Capitals left winger overtook the record formerly held by the great one, Wayne Gretzky, of 994 goals after scoring in the second period in the Washington Capitals' 4-1 loss to the New York Islanders. Ovechkin now sits at 895 career goals scored and is going strong to score more as the Capitals have secured their spot in the playoffs. Gretzky held the record for over 31 years. Brooke, how does the setting of all-time records goal add to Ovechkin's legacy?
Thank you, Liv. Yeah, no, we will definitely see Ovechkin in the top 3 of all time. He is up there definitely with Sidney Crosby and Wayne Gretzky. And then obviously, as you said, he broke Gretzky's record of 894 goals. But also he has redefined goal scoring in the modern era. You know, he's done it through multiple rule changes, lockouts, and obviously during the COVID-shortened seasons. He also brought the first Stanley Cup to his team in 2018, and he's also just the face of the league at that point, and he made the Caps a must-watch team on TV. Again, without him, they're just kind of another team. As far as the GOAT debate over Gretzky and Ovechkin, I would like to say that Ovechkin is definitely a great goal scorer, but I don't think he holds the GOAT title over Gretzky. He's just a more well-rounded player. So yeah, Liv, what do you think?
Yeah, I think his style of play has definitely come into the league and changed everything. He's really aggressive. He's a powerhouse. His leadership through the NHL career has been one of the greats, and he's also known for his physical style of play.
And that will do it for this edition of The List. We'll be back next week to talk up the sports headlines. I'm Brooke Souls.
And I'm Liv Yost. See you next week for more stories on UWW TV.